Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Janet Yong, and in my channel I share about Feng Shui, Bazi, entrepreneurship as well as personal growth, especially in the areas of communication success and motivation. In today's episode, it will be the starting of the 12 Animal Horoscope 2023 forecasts. And in each of the weeks that will be following up, I will be sharing with you 2 animal horoscope signs, starting with the rat and the ox, for today's episode on what to expect, what stars will be in it, what kind of influences should you be expecting, and if the rat or the ox appearing in the year, the month, the day, and the hour, what does it mean for you? If you do not know your Bazi chart, please click on this link that I'm showing here so that you can download your Bazi chart to find out a little bit more before you watch the rest of the episode. So without further ado, let's move on to the next segment where I'll share more. Hi, welcome to this segment of the video episode where I will start sharing on the 12 animal horoscope forecast, and for today we'll start with the rat and the ox. For those who are new to my channel and you do not know your Bazi chart, please go to this link, bazicalculator.janetyong.com, or scan this QR code and get your Bazi chart to know what are the animal horoscopes within your Bazi chart. If you are already very familiar with your Bazi, please then go straight to the timestamp for that of the rat and the ox that I've listed in the video description. Now, when we look at actually a person's Bazi chart, how many animal horoscopes do you think there are? As you can see from here, it can be up to 4 animal horoscopes: the year, the month, the day, and the hour. What it represents to have the animal horoscope within the year generally represents what you can see in your bigger industry environment, your social circle of friends. It could be your grandparents or your bigger industry environment. And the animal horoscope in the month pillar, as shown in this chart, is that of the tiger. It represents your relationship with your immediate superior, your parents, your career mindset, as well as whether there will be any changes to the department. For the animal horoscope within the day, it represents your relationship and perception with that of your spouse, your partner, your peers, and your sibling. And the hour branch is the one that governs basically your action, your investment opportunities, as well as perception and relationship with your subordinates, people younger than you, as well as children if you are already a parent. Let's move on to the rat. Now, for the rat, basically this year, as you can see from the chart, there are quite a lot of auspicious stars as highlighted from the green color wordings of fortune virtue, Tian De, Fu De, red matchmaker, salty pool, as well as only one inauspicious star, the quarrelsome star. So how did the rat fare in the 2023 race? As you can see, it ranks number 2. And as I mentioned, it's because of the great auspicious stars. Now, please remember that when I'm ranking these animal race, it is actually based on the auspicious and inauspicious stars as well as the flying stars within their horoscope palace. Of course, there are many other factors because, as you can see from the Bazi chart itself, it's not just one animal horoscope, but actually up to 4 with the other 4 elements. So this represents basically 1/8 of your Bazi chart itself. Now, in this case, when we look at the Fortune Virtue Star and the Tian De Star, these are both nobleman stars. And the key thing with the Fortune Virtue, the Tian De, as well as the Fu De, is to be willing to take on the responsibilities to help others or seek help when you require, especially when you have the red matchmaker. From the relationship perspective, if you are in the front working with people, usually you will get great relationships. Now, with the red in your chart itself, with the red matchmaker, it could also be a year where those who are single can find their future partner to be, or if you are already within a relationship, decide to take on a further step and tie the knot. However, there's also a salty pool star. Now, the salty pool star can be viewed as a negative star in traditional terms, as being too much of attraction of the opposite gender. However, if addressed correctly, the salty pool star can be utilized to actually increase your fame and your likability score, especially if you're on social media or in a field that requires more followers or more people liking what you do. Of course, because of the quarrelsome star itself, as well as the combination of the red and the rabbit branch of the year 2023, it can cause some relationship issues. Now, in the next slide, let's talk about what does it mean when you have the red within your year branch. If it's within your year branch, like I mentioned earlier on, it could be there are certain happenings within your bigger industry environment, your bigger company environment, or your social circle of friends, either from the perspective of having quite a lot of good news, a lot of helpful people. So if you have the red within the year branch itself, it is a great year to ask your social circle of friends, especially when you need help, to give you that aid or that push in the area that you are looking for. However, with the combination of the red and the rabbit as a punishment relationship, it could be also a year where there are certain happenings within the bigger company or bigger industry environment that causes you to be a little bit unhappy, where the effort that you put in may not be met with the expectations of return or gratitude. So one of the key things of handling this is actually not to attach too much. And I've shared quite a lot of videos about understanding some of the hiccups or obstacles within our chart, and then how you should go about letting go. And this has been shared quite a bit in the last 2 to 3 videos on clarity and life purpose. You can go ahead and click on the link that I'm showing here if you would like to. Now, if the red is actually within your month branch, good luck, because then you actually will receive a lot of help from your immediate superior, your mentors, as well as your parents. Of course, it is actually also up to you to step up and ask for it. And this is where number one, if you have the red matchmaker and the salty pool star, if you're appealing to a bigger mass, this is where it would be great to have those set of stars as well. And of course, from a relationship perspective, like I mentioned earlier on, do watch out and not attach too much of expectations with people who are more senior, your immediate superior, or your parents, in order not to be disappointed. If the red is within the day, then for sure it will be a year where you may want to take your relationship a step further if you are already in a relationship, or go look for one if you are single. So tap on the Feng Shui energies, which I'll share a little bit later in my video series for the 2023 forecast, on how you should go about doing that. And if you have the red in the hour, it will represent basically the helpful people coming from probably a younger group, or if you're looking for followers, especially with the red matchmaker and the salty pool star, great area to work on. So the difference between the month and the hour represents a lot more about your action. Your action in gaining likability will bring you more people who will like what you do. Let's take a look at the red palace. The red palace is in the north, and in the year 2023 it has the number 9 star. So we all know that period 9 is coming in a year's time, in 2024, where you will actually be number 9 as the wealth star. So for those born with the red in their chart, it will be a great year for you to start building the foundation to magnify what you can do, so that you will enjoy great luck in the year 2024. Now let's move on to those with the ox within their chart. And as you can see, the ox ranked number 9 in the New Year's race. Now why is that the case? It's because the ox has no auspicious stars in the year 2023, except one inauspicious star, which is that of the sky dog. Now what does the sky dog mean? The sky dog generally means that it may be a year where you may get into a little bit of accidents, where you can easily get cuts and small injury. Of course, from a Feng Shui perspective, if you know how to protect yourself, this will not be a problem. And it's crucial for those with the ox within their chart to protect themselves, because the Northeast Palace in this new year will have the accident and robbery star, which I will touch on a little later on. What does it mean by having the ox within the year then? If it's within the year, like I mentioned earlier on, it would be people in your industry environment or your social circle of friends where you see maybe they have some challenges, or maybe you will get some injury. From a body perspective, the year can represent the head area itself. Now, if you look at the month, then it could be, if I'm just examining it from the perspective of injury to the shoulder as well as your upper back. And then if it is the day, it will be anywhere from the abdominal to the lower back area, and the hour is about your limbs, your hands and your feet. So if you have the ox within your chart, do not fret, because it's not going to be the only one. There will be other elements within your chart that we can look at, and of course, without any other extremely bad inauspicious star, you can of course tap on the 2023 great or auspicious Feng Shui sectors to enhance your luck. So before we do that, let's take a look at where the ox is situated within the different palaces. The ox is situated within the Northeast Palace, which has the number 7 accident and robbery star in the year 2023. And as I mentioned earlier on, because of the existing Sky Dog star as well as the 7th star within the Ox Palace, it is crucial for those born with the ox within their chart to protect themselves in the year 2023 against injury, against accidents and against robbery. In a later episode where I share about how you can protect yourself in the year 2023, please do take the time to watch on how you can protect yourself. That's 1. 2 is basically avoid doing cutting, knocking, drilling in the 3 sectors of Tai Shui, which is going to be in the East 2 sector of the Rabbit Palace, the West sector which has 3 killings, as well as the 5 Yellow sector in the Northwest. If you would like to know more, please click on this link or go to the video description to the 8 Treasures website where I share more about this. So this is the end of today's episode. If you would like a personalized report to show you exactly what stars will be in for you based on your individual Bazi chart, what influences will come in the year 2023, and therefore what skill sets you should be picking up, as well as how you can utilize Feng Shui to boost your chances of success, you can click on the link that I've listed in the video description to find out more about this report and how you can get it at a special discount right now. I'll see you next week where I will share with you how those born with the tiger and the rabbit ranks in the year 2023. See you next week. Goodbye.